Hello, my name is Asala Igbaria. I'm going to present about the film To Live. It's by the sixth generation Chinese director Zhang Yimou. The film depicts the life of a man, Fugi, and his family, his wife, his daughter, his son, during Chinese political events in the 1940s up until 1970s. This film basically covers a long period of modern Chinese history. During those years, a lot happens. This family goes through many losses, tragedies, changes. So the film starts off by showing us that Fugi likes to gamble. He doesn't know when to stop, and he eventually loses all of his family's fortune. He looks for ways to earn money other than gambling because he doesn't have anything left. Um, and he tries to ask someone to lend him money, and that doesn't work. But he does receive a chest of puppet shows that he uses to make a living. He even puts on a show to entertain his army fellows when he's at war and battles. Um, Fuyuki is down on his luck. He actually loses his father, he loses his mother, he loses his son in the Great Leap Forward. He even loses his daughter after she gives birth to her son during the Cultural Revolution. So the main themes are uh, role of females, modernization, and that they got me between rural and urban life. So starting with role of females, equality for women. Women expected equality as promised by communist reforms between men and women, socially, economically, and politically. So Jejun, I don't know if I spelled her name right, but she's not like the typical Chinese woman. She's not as weak and submissive as they normally are. She's in fact, she's almost independent. She's strong. She's hardworking mother who takes charge of her own and her children's lives. She has a say in the matters. Um, she constantly tells her husband to quit gambling, and he doesn't. And he refuses. So at last, she tells him it's either me or gambling, and that's when she leaves him and doesn't come back uh before he quits gambling, and he does. And also when he goes to war and comes back, we see her carrying her son and daughter around while working hard. She just doesn't sit around waiting for her husband to come back home and to protect her or to earn money for them. She does that on her own. Rural urban lives. During the Great Leap Forward, there was an explicit difference between rural and urban lives. We could see it. Um, we could see landlords, poor people who are starved. Um, but Fugi's family maintained significantly better housing. The family wasn't within critical reach of the famine. They don't we don't see them complaining about not having food all the time. They are not very poor in the film. um Modernization. There's this anecdote, the chicken, sheep, ox, the one that Fugi tells his grandson. So his grandson, he has this chick box. By the end of the film, he asks him what happens when they grow up. He tells him that they grow up to be chicken, then geese, then sheep, I think, and then finally ox. and his grandson says that he wants to ride ox, but Fugi tell him that there will be something better in the future. They will have access to technology where they can ride trains and airplanes and not just the traditional oxen. Okay, so we have Red Guard's accusations of capitalist roaders. Okay, so there was a propaganda movement that was launched. Young people were organized into groups of Red Guards who accused professionals such as doctors to be counter revolutionaries. They weren't supposed to be, they weren't allowed to be anywhere near uh, anywhere near hospitals, and this is when it resulted in Findra's death. When she gave birth to her son, she needed medical help and nobody could help her. They couldn't get a hold of a doctor, and when they did, he couldn't help himself. He himself needed help. He almost died. He was starving, um, and also the mother's illness resulted from overwork. People at the time were very ignorant. To conclude, the film focuses on the importance of enduring the obstacles that life presents, no matter how difficult they might be. And it is true, Fuyuki has gone through a lot of losses. He almost lost all of his family, and yet the ending wasn't as upsetting. Actually, it ended happily. It was full of hope for a better future, where there would be modernization and technology. Okay, so Fuyuki's gambling is symbolic of the exploitation of peasants during the Great Leap Forward. When he used to gamble, he didn't care for anyone. He had no concern for his family. He couldn't care less what would happen, or for the consequences that would follow, just like how the peasants were treated. They were working all the time as if the government took granted they would work nonstop, like for the rest of their lives. Furthermore, the death of the members of the family stems from the immensely turbulent historical periods. They've gone through a lot, the communism, the cultural revolution, and etc. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.